My favorite brother hired a private investigator to prove I was a failure, but instead he discovered I was a multimillion-dollar success. I grew up in a charming, close-knit village alongside my two siblings. I'm the middle one. Life there meant everyone knew everyone, a dynamic that offered both comfort and constraint. My father, a man of quiet diligence, poured himself into his work but rarely showed emotion, and he's now contemplating retirement. My mother, his complete opposite, tirelessly maintained our home and upheld the traditional values ingrained in her from a young age. Both my parents hail from devout, conventional families. I love them, but I've always felt like I never quite measured up to their expectations. It's painful to feel like the family's perennial disappointment. In stark contrast, my older brother has always been the family's golden child. At 40, he's settled, married to a calm, reserved woman, and they have 2 sons. These boys, to put it mildly, are a handful, especially with their passion for rough-and-tumble sports. My brother seems to believe it's his inherent duty to guide me through life. He sells cars at a local dealership, but his mentorship often feels like I'm a troubled project he can't quite get a handle on, always needing his assistance and expected to be grateful for any time he deigns to spend with me. He paints a picture of an idyllic existence, constantly referencing his athletic children, his powerboat, and his ATVs. Yet, his advice frequently veers into outright bragging about his sprawling house, his flashy cars, and his so-called trophy wife, which only deepens my sense of isolation. As a child, I was the sensitive, emotional kid at school, prone to tears and quick to find excuses when things didn't go my way. I was neither strong nor athletic, often teased and excluded from most activities. My asthma only amplified my feeling of alienation, especially since my parents never considered it a serious medical condition. Adding to this, I've struggled with depression for as long as I can recall. I was never the kid who could effortlessly sprint across a field or accurately throw a football. My parents often compared me to my older brother, remarking on how I wasn't as smart or outgoing as he was. School itself was a challenge. I graduated high school with a meager 2.5 GPA. After saving some money, I enrolled in college but ultimately dropped out in my second year. A decision that sparked a significant family controversy. My younger sister, in a way, was the family princess. I don't know much about her formative years, as I left home when she was still a teenager. My adult interactions with her give me the impression she's not a bad person, just a bit overindulged. Perhaps because it's easier than becoming the target herself, she often treats me with the same subtle disdain as my parents and brother. She had a beautiful wedding at 19 and now has 3 children. I guess I identify most with her middle child. Being a middle child herself, she often gets mocked, and maybe because her struggles mirror my own, I feel a stronger connection to her. After leaving college, I truly embraced my shy, nerdy side. For over 7 years, I worked at a beloved local comic book and video game store until it closed. Even though I've moved on, my parents still behave as though I'm employed there. The highlight of that job was meeting another ambitious geek, my future business partner. Together, we co-founded a successful IT support company. Eventually, my partner decided to sell our firm to a larger corporation. As part of the deal, I was bought out with both cash and stock options, which turned out to be quite lucrative. I launched several side projects and made a series of shrewd investments, many of which became highly profitable. I try not to boast, but I now have over $1 million in assets. Currently, I serve as CTO for a cutting-edge private startup. Despite my wealth, I lead a modest life. My comfortable 2-bedroom house in a great neighborhood is furnished entirely with used items, and I drive a 15-year-old Saturn. I'm not currently in a relationship. My life is hectic,